True crime community. True crime community has been infiltrated.
True Crime King. Back.
What's up, guys? True Crime King back. Alright, so I know it's been a while, but I'm back in the saddle. And what I wanted to talk about today was this Pete Arredondo. He used to be the police chief for Uvalde, Texas. But he hid out in the back like a coward, right? While all those children were being shot. So he had his mugshot taken the other day. He's facing charges of abandoning and endangering a child, a state felony, which he should be facing, however many counts, however many children died, right? In my opinion. Alongside Gonzalez, which another police officer was indicted as well. They are the first law enforcement officials to be charged in what is widely considered to be a failed response to the massacre at Robb Elementary School on May 24th, 2022, which left 19 fourth graders and 2 teachers dead. So yeah, as far as I'm concerned, they both should have 19 counts of abandoning a child. Right? I mean, there's video of this clown just standing outside, and then he tried to say he was testing keys on one of the doors, but then that door was found to be unlocked, right? He's a coward. So anyway, on the day of the shooting, Arredondo, who served as chief of the Uvalde Consolidated Independent School District's police force, Jesus, say that 10 times, was considered to be the incident commander. Gonzalez was one of the responding officers to the school police force. So yeah, he's the police chief. He's the guy that calls the shots, right? And he told them to do nothing, basically. At least 24 state, local, and federal agencies and nearly 400 officers responded to the shooting. But law enforcement waited 77 minutes before entering the classroom. Over an hour. And the police chief told these guys not to go in, right? I mean, what are the police there for? Hello, right? To go towards the bad guys, right? Especially in a school. All that time, officers stood in the hallway as the massacre took place. In January, the Department of Justice released a critical incident review of the shooting. They found there was a delayed response in confronting the assailant. Right? Police doctrine states that officers should immediately act to confront an active shooter. Right? I can't believe these guys were actually police officers. If I was a parent, I'd be furious. I know all these 19 parents are. They have to be. U.S. Attorney General Merrick Garland said, had law enforcement followed generally accepted practices in an active shooter situation and gone right after the shooter to stop him, lives would have been saved and people would have survived, right? The 18-year-old shooter started his rampage at the school around 11:33 a.m., armed with a semi-automatic rifle. Semi-automatic, guys, it means you got to pull the trigger every time, not automatic, okay? That's a lot of you guys that hate guns get that wrong. Anyway, he walked into the school's west building and went into classrooms 111 and 112, which were interconnected. He fired more than 100 rounds in 2.5 minutes. So he did all that in 2.5 minutes, fired 100 rounds, and then what was he doing for the other 74.5 minutes that the police officers were just standing out there, right? I mean, unacceptable. Unacceptable. The indicted officials were some of the first law enforcement officers to arrive at the scene. Let me read that again. The indicted officials, the two officers that are indicted, were the first officers to arrive at the scene. Some of the first. As officers, so they were there the whole 77 minutes, basically. As officers went to approach the classrooms, the shooter fired several shots through the door and wall. One of the responding officers was shot in the head and arm. Another was hit in his ear. So I'm guessing maybe they saw that and got scared, right? Still unacceptable. You have to, there was 400 of them, right? Law enforcement called for backup, bulletproof vests, and other protective equipment. About 20 minutes after the shooting began, Arredondo made the call not to enter the classrooms, but instead, police worked to clear the building as they planned to negotiate with the shooter. So they planned to negotiate after he fired 100 shots and killed 19 people? I don't get it. According to an investigation into the shooting conducted by the city, Uvalde police officers had wanted to enter the classrooms once they had protective shields, but Arredondo's decision overrode that action. So they wanted. Most of the officers wanted to go in the classrooms once they had the shield, right? But then this police chief still said no. So they have bulletproof shields, right? And the police chief wasn't even going in himself, and he still said no. Even though Arredondo served as the school police chief, all of the other agencies had to defer to his orders due to his incident command position. Arredondo was eventually fired from his post, and the entire school police force was replaced by the district. Good, right? It's a no-brainer. Families of the victims have long campaigned for charges to be brought against Arredondo for his actions. I totally agree. Let me know what you guys think down in the comments. This case, ever since I saw it, just got on my nerves. And then I just saw police chief and one of his buds got indicted for abandoning a child. I hope it's at least 19 counts, but we'll see. But it's good to be back. I'm gonna start making videos again, guys. Hit that like and subscribe button. And until next time, True Crime King out.